Evening, everybody. Kamar Yellow here. Tonight we are going to talk about Essence. A lot going on at EssenceFest. Namely, Essence was placing restraining orders against other Black-owned businesses in New Orleans, and Essence got a lot of backlash about that. So tonight, wanted to talk about that because some of this would appear to be anti-Black business, anti-Black wealth. So I wanted to dig through it and figure out if it was real, if it was legitimate, and see what's going on. But before we get to that, we have some new developments in the Diddy case. Now, if y'all was watching last week, go back and watch the Diddy case, Diddy versus DeLeon. Excuse me, Diddy versus Diageo, because DeLeon is just the product. Diageo is the brand. So Diddy is suing Diageo for billions and billions of dollars, and there have been some new discoveries in that lawsuit. And I still haven't gotten to go through Diageo's countersuit against Diddy yet. I will do it, but I wanted to talk about that before we get to the Essence issue just real quick, because I thought it was interesting. I wasn't expecting this one, but remember last week when we were going through all of that court case minutia and everything was redacted? A lot of stuff was redacted. Well, they unredacted some things. And supposedly, Diddy saying that they wanted a watermelon for tequila, watermelon flavored DeLeon. And if you're familiar with the Black experience, you know that pushing watermelon oftentimes gets a bad rep. Now, for the record, I like watermelon. I like chicken and watermelon. I will eat it unapologetically because I love it and it's healthy, at least when it's not too fried. But it's good. It's very good. But again, like I was just showing you that Diddy said DeLeon watermelon flavored tequila wasn't his idea in a lawsuit against his former partners. So he's saying that they basically are pushing this. And if you again remember, they were saying it was more of an ethnic brand. It was a Black brand. So they kind of put it in a box like that. But they unredacted some of the information. Not sure why yet. But they said that Diddy said that Diageo wanted to make a watermelon tequila, flavored tequila. Uh, I don't know if that's. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I like watermelon, so I'm biased. But that does have some very, very, very strange racial overtones. But what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that's weird? Do you think that might be a bit racist? Tell me what you think. In other news, right? There's all kinds of apps coming out these days. So I just signed up for a new Black Twitter-esque app called Spill. I just signed up for that the other day. Looks interesting, but Facebook/Instagram, I don't know which one is which these days, just launched a couple hours ago their new platform called Threads. Very interesting because Threads is very similar to Twitter. If you've been on Twitter lately, Twitter's kind of been a mess. But at the announcement of this new launch of this new product, Threads, it's text based, very much like Twitter. A little bit of a different twist to it, but it's very Twitter esque. Looks like it looks like Zucks is trying to monopolize all of social media. But Facebook stock jumped about $3 today, so almost 8% on the day. Could be promising. Could be promising. And I wonder what's going to happen to Twitter. Now, I didn't look at Twitter stock today. Let me just do a quick gander at it right. So right now, Meta, remember Facebook is no longer Facebook stock. It's Meta, META, Meta Platforms. $294.37. That's what it is today. Again, up $3 on the day. And let me do a gap there at Twitter. There has been in the trash can recently. So, oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Twitter got delisted. Twitter went private. So when Elon did his thing and got the 19 billion, I gotta go look at those numbers again. But when he spent all those monies on Twitter and said he wanted to make it a real town hall, several billion, 19 off the top of my head. I gotta go back and look. If anybody remembers in the chat, go ahead and throw it in there. But I remember it was something like $19 billion, something like that. Well, there's a new kid on the block. Might be a new sheriff on the block. So this, again, is going to be interesting because I signed up for Threads too. A lot of people are signing up for it. There's a lot of, who did I hear today? I heard Jim Cramer today said Twitter is a cesspool. And it is. It is to a large degree, right? There's a lot of trolling, a lot of N-words throwing around, a lot of disrespect. But this is what they call a free town hall, excuse me. So we're going to see what Facebook is going to do. But it's my guess that all of those corporate advertising dollars that Twitter was starting to lose will sneakily find its way over to Facebook or Threads, as they're calling. And I bet there's probably some discounts being thrown around to lure away some of that Twitter money. So I wouldn't be surprised. What do y'all think? I wouldn't be surprised. So, oh man, my guy's in the building. Mr. Debt Free Dad is here. What's up, brother? Gotta give you the horns. All right, so he said, I hate watermelon in that sketch. We are hip hop skip and jump away from chicken or hot sauce flavor. They knew they were doing watermelon is a flavor people like, just not me. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, right? There is a Ciroc watermelon flavored. It's okay. Same thing for, I'm guessing, I haven't had the tequila yet. I just tried DeLeon for the first time not too long ago because a black man was involved. Because now, it really makes you wonder, right? Shout out to Lawrence. What's up, brother? So he's saying finally Twitter's going to go away. But it makes you wonder, right? If Diddy really had true ownership and equity stake in this, or how much say he had in it, or was it just all lip service? But the lawsuit, like I said, I love digging through these lawsuits because they're very, very juicy. You find out a lot of information that you normally wouldn't find out. And so we'll keep following the story. All right, so let me pull this up here. So again, over the last weekend, we have had Essence. Essence has been in the building down in New Orleans, and they got a lot of heat. Now, if you're not familiar with Essence, many people think Essence is white owned, and it was for a while. But if we go back to the origins of Essence, 4 black men started Essence in the 70s. 4 black men that were working jobs, put together some money, and they built it up. I actually have a whole book on it that I've been meaning to get to and do a book review for, but I just haven't had the time, y'all. I ain't had the time. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. But now, present day, Essence was sold. It was white owned for a long time. Then along came a man who was selling shea butter, and he brought it by the name of Richard Dennis. He ran into some problems maybe 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. And I believe he was ousted, but I believe he still owns Essence and the whole Essence brand. Now it's controlled by a black woman. And so all of that to say, Essence has been in a bit of a battle with some local Black-owned businesses in Orleans because they filed a restraining order against them. And I just find it odd that they would do that, right? Black business, Black brand, supporting Black business, supporting Black people, especially Black women. Why would you go out and file a restraining order, a temporary restraining order against another Black-owned business? They said they were trying to encroach on the Essence Festival name. But I did a little bit of digging. I talked to some people who are in the know, and it's interesting. So I want to go through all the twists and turns of that. And so y'all can tell me what you think. Do you think, you'll let me know if you think it was kind of shady, kind of sketch, or if it was legit. But we're going to break through all of the stuff. So I want to play this one clip for you all. Let's see here. I've been having some tech difficulties, so just bear with me for a second.
This is a temporary restraining order issued in New Orleans on behalf of Essence Magazine that stopped Black business owners from making money during EssenceFest. Let me explain. This is Tamika and Kim. They own Lit Diaries in Atlanta. They were putting on an event in partnership with Baldwin and Company, who's owned by a brother named DJ in New Orleans, for Essence Weekend for Authors in New Orleans. Let me make a long story short. So Essence decides that they find out about this event that's happening at Baldwin and Company. They send a cease and desist letter. The parties involved respond to this letter to make it clear to Essence that we're not trying to copy anything that you guys are doing. There's no branding associated. We're independent. We're on private property. All of these things. Essence gets that letter. They still file an order with the courts. 7:30 the morning of the event, they get an order from the court that says that they cannot have their event the day of the event, and it's canceled. They can't have their event because the courts have said that this Black business, these two Black women, this Black-owned bookstore in New Orleans can't have their event, and Essence is the reason. The city council president of New Orleans issued this statement, though. Council President J.P. Morrell says, my office is aware that an event planned by a local business on private property during Essence Fest was forced to shut down due to an alleged violation of the Clean Zone Ordinance. It is completely inappropriate for any large-scale event visiting the city of New Orleans to negatively impact our local businesses with something akin to a non-compete clause. It is especially concerning that the canceled event was organized by a Black-owned business and would have showcased Black female authors on a weekend that is supposed to be dedicated to Black culture. It was never the intent of the council for any ordinance, much less the Clean Zone Ordinance, to impact private businesses hosting private events that happen to coincide with the timing of Essence Fest. Here's my truth. The Black women who are a part of creating this event, as well as DJ, the business owner in New Orleans, are people who I have admiration and respect for because they do tremendous work for our community. It is wholly disappointing that Essence would file such a document to stop Black folks from making money in New Orleans while you're a guest in our city. As great of a guest as you are, you're still coming here. And I'm going to be honest with you, as big of a show as Essence is, to say that you're worried about a small event at a bookstore and filing documents to stop it, it's really unfortunate. And as a guardian of Black people and a guardian of the people of this state, I feel it's my obligation to say, y'all need to rectify this. You need to reach out to these folks. This is unacceptable, and this is not what we expect from Essence. We love what you do. We appreciate all that Essence is and represents, but you got to do right by us, not sometime, but all the time.
What do y'all think about that? You saw what he had to say right now. If you're not familiar with that brother's Gary Chamberlain. He ran for Congress and lost, but he's from Louisiana. Very progressive, though. I actually liked his platform. I think he's pretty solid, but it was a rough race. Rough race. Now, Essence put that out there, and that free dad, we got a lawyer in the building, so maybe you can give us some lawyer perspective on this. But Essence, I mean, they responded. Then Essence responded. And so this is what Essence had to say. It's kind of interesting, but let me pull this up on the screen. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. And again, somebody might say, well, Kamari, you talk about money, but Kamari also talks about Black wealth. And sadly, there are sometimes interracial issues amongst wealth that should be sorted out and analyzed at all times. So that's why I'm bringing this to bear today. Give me 1 second. So Essence defends their stance on this, right? Gary's video circulated, got a lot of traction, a lot of people pulling this up. Now, I pulled this off of Black America Web, which is Tom Joyner's thing. Remember, I was talking about primary sources, right? I wouldn't necessarily call this a primary source, but since it's a Black outlet and we're talking about Black business, I decided to use it. But I wanted to be upfront about that. So you can see this on the screen now, right? 2013 Essence Festival of Culture, Civic Center, July 1st, right? So Essence Festival has responded to mounting outrage after obtaining a court order to block a Black-owned business from hosting its own event while the renowned annual celebration of Black culture was kicking off in New Orleans. Social media timelines were replete with criticism after the news broke on Friday that a New Orleans-based Black-owned bookstore was being prevented from holding a literary block party with Black authors. Now, that just reads colonizer to me, right? I mean, why would you want to stop a Black-owned business from doing something? Essence is huge. Why would you even care? If anything, why wouldn't you want to support it? But let's keep going on. The temporary restraining order and cease and desist letter claim block party organizers didn't go through the proper licensing procedure to be included as a vendor during the annual Essence Fest celebration. But block party organizers have said the event was not part of Essence Fest and it was being held on private property. It's supposed to be America, right? So private property is supposed to be private property. It is deeply ironic that Essence, which claims to celebrate and uplift the Black community, would choose to target a business like Baldwin & Co., which aligns with the values of community service and empowerment. Baldwin & Co. owner DJ Johnson said in a statement, such actions are not only unjust, but also tarnish the reputation of Essence and raise questions about its commitment to supporting the Black community as a whole. Essence Fest responded on Saturday by defending itself after people, including former U.S. Senate candidate in Louisiana, Gary Chambers, the guy I just showed y'all, spoke out in a video he posted to social media. By the way, shout out to Gary, right? Because he didn't have to do this. He lost. A lot of times when people lose their election seats, they just kind of go work for a law firm somewhere, or go work for a lobbyist firm somewhere, and kind of fade off to obscurity. He didn't. He chose to speak out. So salutes to him for speaking up about this. I mean, it's important. It's important. So as we get here, such actions are not, all right, I'm sorry. Essence Fest responded on Saturday by defending itself after people, including former U.S. Senate candidate in Louisiana, Gary Chambers, spoke out. In a video he posted to social media, Chambers denounced the temporary restraining order and demanded Essence rectify the situation with Baldwin & Co. Judging from Essence Fest's response on Twitter to Chambers, it's doubtful that will happen. Now listen to this, y'all. Listen to this closely. The event organizers misled artists into believing that they were participating in an Essence Festival event. Shockingly, the event charged each author a $600 fee to participate under the guise of working with Essence. Essence Fest said in a statement it tweeted in response to Chambers' video. Essence does not charge authors to participate in their programming. The event organizers intend to charge the public for the event while Essence programming is free of charge and open to the community. All right, so keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. Statement added, Essence repeatedly asked the event organizers to stop this misleading activity and to refund monies to all who have taken advantage of in the name of Essence. And then this is just the response to Gary. This is just a post of it here. And here's the tweet. The event organizers misled artists into believing that they were participating in the the event organizers misled artists into believing that they were participating in an Essence Festival event. Shockingly, the event charged each author a $650 fee to participate under the guise of working with Essence. Working with Essence. Essence does not charge authors to participate in their festival. Right. So you hear all that, right? Hear all that, right? So what do y'all think? Can they use Essence image likeness to promote themselves? You think that's right? What do y'all think? All right, so before I move on to the next piece, I got another piece. I want to just check in with the comments real quick. So Defree Dad says, you see Elon restricted the numbers of tweets that people can see based on if you paid member or not. Actually, because I have the blue check on Twitter, right? I pay for it. They will restrict my tweets too. I just have a higher threshold. I can see more tweets. It was really weird though to say what you said. I mean, to bring up that point, right? Not you, but what Elon did. That was really weird. But he said that people were scraping data and this was temporary and they were trying to fix something, I guess. Hey, Northern Bell, how you doing? All right, so Latoya Evans is in the building. My tax system. She says that is foul, and they are taking money from them, and they're paying their taxes to the city. Well, all right. If that's how they're doing small business owners, they will never get a dime from me to attend. Now, everybody knows Essence Fest is free, right? I mean, everybody knows that. But there have been issues with Essence this year from a lot of people. Everybody has been talking about Juvenile recently. Don Johnson's in the building. How are you, sir? But everybody's been talking about Juvenile's Tiny Desk that's been circulating around for the last week, right? He did his thing on Tiny Desk, him and Manny Fresh tore it down. But before that, a little bit before that, I believe it was a tweet that Juvenile put out there. He said, it's really interesting that it's 50 years of hip hop. Essence Fest is in New Orleans, and they don't have any New Orleans hip hop artists. None. And JD, Jermaine Dupri, was curating that whole thing, and he had a whole bunch of Atlanta artists to perform in New Orleans. I get it, but I don't at the same time. I get it, but I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Not even gonna lie. I don't get it. But before we get into it, do me a favor, like, comment, and share. Make sure you share and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, the Finance Rebel channel over there. Y'all know every week we do our Wealthy Wednesday segment where we talk about money, and I usually answer your money questions tonight. Not going to do your questions tonight. Got to save that for another time because I got started late working with clients, tech issues. So it was a whole deluge of things. So, but as I always say, I'm here every Wednesday. Might be a little bit early, might be a little bit late, but I'm going to be here. All right. So let's get back to this. But what do y'all think about this? I mean, so far, right? They asked for the temporary restraining order. Seems like they got it, right? They're wondering what's going on. They're talking about Baldwin & Co. charging $650 for people to go to their block party, the literary block party. It's basically an author's showcase, right? That they're having a block party around that. Literacy. Ooh, what a thing. Sounds like something we need. But all right, but I want to put this other piece up as we get here. So this is from Baldwin & Company. Now this was a release on Twitter. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see something here. I feel like I'm sharing too much information. Because some of my folks shared this with me. So let's get to that real quick. All right, here we go. Plus I can make the screen bigger. So here we go. I don't know what's going on here. Hmm, let's see. Give me 1 second, y'all. I have been tech challenged all day long. All day long. So Baldwin & Co. had two things, right? They had, why can't I pull this up now? They had a response to Essence that I'm trying to share on the screen now, and it's not working. So let me see what I can do. It's not working, y'all. It ain't working. All right, bear with me 1 second. Not sure why this is not working. So I am going to read this. Matter of fact, I know what I can do. I think I know what I can do. But I'm going to read this. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm not sure it's not showing up in a big way. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to read it, and I'll post everything in the description. So if you want to go back and read it, or you listen to it on the podcast, you can go back and find it. So I want to read their first response. So this is Baldwin and Company's first response. This is super. This is super small too. But let me blow it up. All right. So in response to the cease and desist letter, dear Essence Communications Inc. tells you that Essence is a corporation. I know everybody's like excited about LLCs and stuff now, right? And Essence Festival Productions LLC. So the festival is a separate company and it's under an LLC. I'm writing in response to the case, I'm writing in response to the cease and desist letter received from your organization regarding the alleged use of the Essence Festival trademarks and marketing and advertising materials for the Lit House. Lit House is the name of the place, for the Lit House event. I want to unequivocally state that Baldwin & Co. did not create any marketing or advertising materials for the Lit House event that includes or references the Essence Festival. We respect and appreciate the importance of trademark and copyright laws, and we have always been committed to complying with them. We fully agree to comply with all trademarks, copyright, and intellectual property laws of Essence Festival, and apologize for the confusion by someone hosting an event at our business. Baldwin & Co. takes great pride in diligently ensuring that there is no association between our venue and the Essence Festival in any promotional content. Any confusion that may have arisen was not intentional. I mean, this seems pretty respectable, right? They didn't pop off. They didn't pop fly. They're like, listen, it's an issue. You would think two Black-owned businesses could work it out, small or large, shouldn't matter. I want to emphasize that Baldwin & Co. did not and will not collect any monetary proceeds from any sales of tickets or have any affiliation with any charges to attend or participate in the Lit House event. No charge, no tickets, right? So again, they sent all this and they want to say that's right. Furthermore, I want to assure you that Baldwin & Co. has taken immediate action by sending a notice to Tamika Newhouse of Lit House Diaries to remove the phrase Lit House of Essence Fest. All right, so there must have been something with the promoters that they might have put something on there from Essence Fest, but it was removed. In Lit House, the place where the venue was being held, was not a part of that. So it's kind of weird how this all played out. Now, I wish I could really show this. Let me do a quick Google search and see if I can find this. I'll put it on screen. I don't want y'all to think I'm just making up these words. So let me see if I can Google it, grab it real fast, so we can all read along. Plus, I don't have my glasses, so I'm struggling a little bit. I did find another article, but I wanted to find the response because what happened was, and I won't bury the lead anymore, the lawsuit was dropped. Everything was dropped. So they did all this and they dropped it. But let me find it. Let me read it again. So here's the response because I can't find the response. Trying to find the response, y'all. All right. I'm just going to read it again. Dear valued members of the public, it is with great pleasure that Baldwin & Co. announced the dismissal of the lawsuit filed against us by Essence Festivals Production LLC and Essence Communications Inc. Essence. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the New Orleans communities and individuals worldwide for their unwavering support during this challenging time. Just as David was underestimated in the battle against Goliath, we too faced a formidable opponent. So it doesn't seem like it was amicable. We faced a formidable opponent. However, the strength and solidarity demonstrated by our community ensured that righteous, keyword there, righteousness prevailed. The love and support of the New Orleans community have always been the backbone of Baldwin & Co., and we are humbled by the overwhelming response we received. We firmly believe that the decision of Essence to include Baldwin & Co. in the lawsuit should never have happened. All right, so I'm not going to bore y'all with the rest, right? So the lawsuit was dropped. But what happened here was they went through the legal system. Not sure why that had to even go this far. And had it not been from the outrage of potential elected officials or soon to be elected officials or maybe elected officials at one point, a lot of this wouldn't have gotten started. And then everybody else kind of piled on and applied pressure, which they should have. That's what's supposed to happen. So shout out to them. But I'm still really curious why Essence would really push this in this way. Right? Why would you push on and lean on a small Black-owned business in this way? Doesn't seem like a good look. What do y'all think? I mean, do you think it was just a misunderstanding? I mean, because Baldwin & Company did reach out to them. They did make ample attempts to say, hey, it's a misunderstanding. If there was any confusion, everything's been rectified, so forth and so on. So they were still able to have their event. So salutes to Baldwin & Co. and the organizers of that event. I'm not sure about Essence, though, these days. I've been wanting to go to Essence for a while. I've never been. I wanted to go, but I don't know now. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let's see what we got here. But Wanda says, thank you much for bringing Black finance to YouTube and making it look dope. Oh, man, you made my day. Thank you. And I think Latoya just, I think she's speechless at this point. But listen, this is what should happen all the time. Anytime there's kind of an injustice, get in, verify the facts, see what's going on, right? Because a lot of times we like to jump to conclusions, verify the facts, and then stand on what's right. And in this case, Gary Chambers was indeed right. What would happen if we always did that with Black-owned businesses when Black issues came up? We got to bring light to it. We got to speak truth to power. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Black business or not, right? Any times it involves the Black community, it should be justified, equitable, right? People should be able to know that when I'm dealing with a Black-owned business, it's going to be fair if there is a such thing, right? But I don't know if everybody rocks that way. I'm pretty sure everybody does not rock that way. I would think I would be naive if I believed that, if I kept moving like that. Most people, though, sadly, Black, white, green, or yellow, most people move in their own self-interest, not what's in the interest of the people or the community, but in their own self-interest. How could this have hurt Essence in any way, shape, or form? If anything, it adds more diversity to the mix of that event, of that weekend. It gives people more outlets to do things. And it was a private event, so the people that were going to Essence were not, or may not even be thinking about that. And the people that were going to that event may not be going to Essence because it seemed like a more of a local event. So, it's one of those things. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think Essence was right? Put it in a comment. Do you think Essence was wrong? Put it in the comment. Or was just one big misunderstanding? My apologies for the technology gaps tonight, but we're gonna work through. We're gonna make it do what it do. That's all we can do. So, all right. So, as we go through tonight, Essence was on the docket. Talked about Diddy a little bit. I'm probably going to be back tomorrow, just to let y'all know. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of Fed stuff's going on. So I'm not going to talk about it too much tonight. But Fed was thinking about raising rates. Then he said, maybe not this month, but maybe later. But we'll dig into that later on. Like I said, we'll talk about that tomorrow. So for me, Kamari Ellis, the Finance Rebel, thank you all for watching. Do me a favor, make sure y'all continue to save, and save some more, and invest those savings as well. And continue to read, y'all. We need more people that read really well, that write really well, and that do arithmetic really well. The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, are truly the gateway to wealth creation. So don't forget that. It's important for us to read, write, and do math. It's important for our babies to read, write, and do math. A lot of times we kind of push education off to the side, and you can't. A lot of times, a lot of these kerfuffles are because somebody didn't read something clearly. They didn't comprehend it clearly. And if we're going to be really serious about Black wealth extending to the next level and the next generations, folks got to be more than just literate. They got to be masterful at reading, writing, and arithmetic. Literacy is just the bar, the minimum. We need excellence and beyond. So again, thank you all for joining tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I will see you all tomorrow. Later, y'all.